the game?
Well, I mean, as far as the thoughts, I mean, we definitely had a game plan. You know, I think through the whole state, you know, we really worked to try to come up with a game plan on how we want to stop some teams, what we want to do, who we're going to focus on, and we've done a really good job these last 3 games of doing that. And I think tonight we stuck with our game plan. We want to come in and focus on a couple of their players. We made it tough for them all night long. You know, there's a few times we lost our composure a little bit, but overall, I think we did a really good job of sticking to what we wanted to do. You know, we knocked some shots down at some critical times. We had made a couple runs. And, you know, I'm just, like I said, I told these guys I was really proud of how far they've come along, especially, you know, we started this year off, we didn't have a lot of varsity experience outside of Ethan. We had a lot of guys that really didn't play much last year. They didn't have a JV season. And our whole goal was to really get them used to varsity speed, varsity competition, and primarily varsity defense. And you look, these last 3 games, our defense has been incredible. And that's just, we've come a long way on the defensive end. And, you know, all of this doesn't happen if we don't play defense the way we have the last couple games.
Questions?
Terry, you had several runs there. How satisfying was it that you got it from a lot of different guys? I mean, it just seemed like every time you made a run, you were getting it from different areas, different kids. I mean, what does that say about this team?
It shows you again how far we've come. I mean, I think if this was earlier in the year, I mean, you know, we really needed Ethan to do everything for us early on because he's had that experience. But it shows how far we've come as a team. And, you know, we've always preached as this program, we always find the open man, we share the ball. It's never a one-man show. And I think that just shows how far we've come from the beginning of the season where, you know, we wouldn't have won this game back in December. I mean, we would not have won that game. But we can come out now. We've got a lot of guys that can shoot the ball, they can handle the ball, they rebound, that's come a long way. And so, I mean, if it wasn't for how they progressed, yeah, we wouldn't have been in that game.
Big shot the 4th quarter, 3-pointer by you. Had one in the 3rd. You pushed the ball up the floor on the break, found him from the left wing. Same thing, you drew the defense, found him on the same spot. What is it about that spot? Do you like that? Did you spot up there on the break all the time?
I mean, yeah, every time Ethan drives in, they're always going to double on him, so they just leave me wide open.
How about it, how much are you looking for him in those 2 situations?
Once I drive in, I'm just going to try to make the right play every time, whether that's shooting or finding an open man.
Ethan, I think you probably agreed, not your best shooting night, 2 for 12, but we were just commenting, you still were a couple stats off from a triple-double. I mean, you still feel like you were able to contribute to everything else going on the court, even though maybe not your best shooting night?
Yeah, some nights the shots just aren't going to fall, and you just got to impact the game in any way you can. And so I feel like I did that tonight.
What is your emphasis on rebounding at your position as a guard? I mean, especially on the defensive boards, you seem like you get a lot of them, and when they were missing a lot early, you guys were able to turn that around on them.
Yeah, so our big guys always boxing out, and our guards are way out on the perimeter, so I try to make an emphasis to get in there and get rebounds.
And for this season, I mean, he's done really well. He's actually our 2nd leading rebounder behind Bryce. So, I mean, that's from a freshman year. I mean, he didn't get many rebounds, and that's one part of his game. You know, he's bulked up, he's got a little bit stronger, and he's able to get in there and get a lot more rebounds now.
Bryce, it seems like in the middle, you were a force. You had a few blocks in there, the rebounding. You know, it seemed like you took them out of their game because it seemed like, you know, you would think they would drop to the middle, but you were a force in the post.
Take your time.
I mean, Bryce, with Bryce, I mean, he does, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, he anchors down, he blocks shots better than, I mean, just about any big man I've had. I mean, he really makes an emphasis. He can, you know, when he owns that lane and dominates it, it makes everything we can want to do on defense so much easier. It allows Ethan to help off and getting gaps for steals. We can really concentrate on the 2 best players and not really help off of them because we know we got Bryce just blocking up that lane every time. I mean, Bryce, I've never had a player that can block shots and just dominate the paint like he can.
Did you feel like, you know, as long as you didn't let them just get it off the board and put it back up, you were gonna handle their offense?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to focus on one, just try to stop the driving lanes. You know, we wanted Nick and then our co-owner Michael, who was guard number 5, to really concentrate, push them off their spots, make it tough, and then take away their drives or make them take a couple dribbles when Bryce can get over there and block their shots. And then, yes, you got to block us out and get rebounds because they're a monster on the offensive boards.
And yet they cut a 14-point lead down to 5. You called the timeout early in the fourth quarter.
Well, we were talking, we got away from, everything was on the perimeter. We got a little soft, a little scared, and everything was jump shots. And we wanted to go and attack the basket. At halftime, that was what we talked about. In the third quarter, I don't think we took a layup the whole third quarter. So we wanted to really attack and get in there and be more aggressive and draw fouls on them and pump fake them. And we just kind of got away from, I think, you got that lead, we got kind of runs like we wanted to go for that knockout punch, and we weren't making a couple of those shots and allowed them to get back into it.
Seems like,
Go ahead, Jermaine.
I was going to just say, it seems like tonight was a culmination of 2 years, you know, because I didn't do it 2 years ago. But tonight, it was like partying like it was 1999, you know, got that W.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was awful 2 years ago. I mean, that was the worst, like I said, as far as game experience. You know, I've never had a loss that bad as being here and being told we weren't going to play. And, you know, like I said, there were only Ethan and Tyler were the only ones on that team that experienced that. But everybody here was on a car coming up here to watch us. And so they know what that, you know, the disappointment and everything and not getting to play that game. And like I said, it was just, you know, it's been 2 years, but yeah, it's been longer than that. You know, we've been working with these guys since they were kindergarten, first grade. And so it's been a long time going. And, you know, we felt like, you know, we had a good chance of winning that game 2 years ago. I felt like if, you know, last season we had a normal season, we could have competed and done a better job of competing last year too. And like I said, to be able to get it this year, it was just, like I said, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of pressure off your shoulders, and it just feels really good.
A lot of those guys were here tonight
Yep.
supporting us.
Yeah, most of that team was here watching. You know, they made the return trip up. We only had one senior that year, but we had a bunch of juniors that graduated last year. So yeah, just about all of them were here to watch that game tonight.
Nick, you had a big 3 in the first half. I think that tied the game. It led to the timeout for them. You obviously led the team in scoring tonight. Just your confidence level coming in, and I guess what led to your big game?
I mean, I started off slow. I had a couple bad turnovers there and called a timeout, subbed out for a little bit, and, you know, he talked to me a little bit, calmed down, got into my game, and shots started falling. After that 3 went in, confidence just went up, and I was ready to drive in, attack, and make my own shot.
Yeah, we were asking people about the size of the court. I mean, did it look as big as you guys would expect it? Because they said college court is bigger than a high school court.
I mean, yes, I think the lanes were wider. It felt like the floor was bigger, and it was easier to find some of those passes that would be harder to make on high school court. But yes, I do agree. It was a change going up and down on a bigger court and everything.
Terry, Anthony, and I were talking about how we've seen Ethan grow up the past 3 years. It's been crazy. What has he meant? Obviously, I know he's a child.
Are there any more questions about the game?
Well, this
It would
is
just
kind of about the
be easier, I
game.
think, for all of us just
Yeah.
getting here.
Yeah, but I got another team to bring in. You understand that? So if you're asking a question about, that's a big question, we'll do that in the hallway.
It was about the game, but it's fine.
Well, I'll ask a game question. In general, what does it feel like right now? I mean, you guys are state champions.
Yep. No, yeah. That's gross for everybody. I mean, how does everybody feel about it?
It feels like we're on top of the world.
Yeah, I mean, our locker room, they're still probably in there dancing and taking pictures with the trophy. And yeah, so these guys are going to miss out on a little bit of celebration. But yeah, it's, like I said, you don't get this experience doing other things. I mean, playing basketball, being able to take a team of 11 guys and put them all together, and you need a lot of luck, a lot of character, a lot of things to go your way to get here. So it's, you know, it's a long season, but when you finish like this, I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's a good feeling knowing you worked for it. You got it. It's a good feeling.
We good? All right, thanks, guys.